Yo, hello everyone, welcome to a new live stream. Welcome to the daily live stream. So, Felix, hello, how you doing, man? I hope you all have a nice day and a nice starting for the US people here. Of course, you just started with the market right now opening, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen today. So basically on NASDAQ, we have a potential 1-2, and then we have a wave 3, 4, and a 5. So we are in the formation of this wave 3 toward the upside in 1-2. You can take it as wave 3, 4, and a 5. Of course, the wave 4 can unfold, of course, after the finishing of this wave 3 in the yellow brackets here. So basically, we are looking at a triple 1-2s here, potentially 3, 4, 5, 4, and a 5 for a wave 3, of course, in the yellow. Now this, of course, yesterday has been mentioned that we would like simply at least to take the high here. It is more than enough to take the high to see, of course, a finished wave 5. Now, of course, it can be an extended wave 5, but this is not looking so. Hello, Syed and Felix. Nice to see you guys. I'm doing well, thank you. I hope you're doing also good, Syed. All right, so basically, if we move a little bit inside it, we can see that this wave 5 is unfolding, of course, as 1, 2, 3, potentially 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for wave 5, simply taking the high. Okay, obviously that is gonna simply take the high. Now, what are the possibilities to transform this as 1, 2? Well, it can be, right? It can be that we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for an extended wave 3 and 5 in this one. Yeah, so where you would like to hit, of course, 0.618 at 22K 246. Now I cannot confirm this, of course. I cannot confirm it, but what I can say that it is a possibility. How? It can be, of course, in several forms. It can be, of course, in 1, 2 as an impulse 3, 4, 5, or it can be in the formation of a leading diagonal here, wave 1. Okay? And that means when you are in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, you finish wave 1. Normally, after a leading diagonal, the wave 2 is very shallow and fast. And that might unfold directly a wave 3, 4, and a 5. So those are the two possibilities that it might unfold, of course, over there for a wave 3 and 4 and 3 and a 5. Between, of course, this blue box, 22K 250. Now, the third possibility is simply taking the high. Very simple. So we have three possibilities, guys, for this potential bullish trend. Whether we take simply the high, finishing there, we'll move for a wave 4, or we move for a 1, 2 impulse, 3, 4, 5, Or it can be, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a leading diagonal, wave 2 very fast and shallow, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, those are the three possibilities that we might see, of course, next. Bearish, there is no bearish yet. Sorry. Sorry, guys. If we are bearish, if we are bearish, we are looking therefore to this scenario, right? We are looking for wave B, which it can be, of course, wave 2 as well, finishing here a leading diagonal, very low possibility, because, of course, yeah, the wave 4 even did not took the wave 1, which is a rule, guys. So I would like to see, of course, after 1, 2, 3, 4, the wave 4 interfering with zone 1. In this case, it's not happening. Therefore, the possibilities goes very, very low for the scenario. All right. And potentially we are looking higher possibilities that we are looking at this scenario rather than the other one. Okay. All right. Let's move for SPX. Okay, for the SPX here, we are looking potentially for the following scenarios as well, which is, of course, bullish, can be also looking for the wave 5. As we said, of course, we are in SPX trying to follow with NASDAQ as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 towards the upside. So finally, the SPX is, of course, following NASDAQ and looking for 3, 4, 5, a 4, and a 5 continuation towards the upside. Potentially, again, that you have a wave 3 right now, almost not finished, I would say. Let me check on the 15-minute chart. Well, yes, I would like to see a kind of like 4-5. Now, this is a very intense move towards the upside, so I don't see the wave 1 anyway, but yeah, I mean, this definitely, of course, a full impulse towards the upside can be finished, and you are looking at wave 4 and a 5 potentially, okay? Or simply higher. And this can be a part of the wave 3, by the way, okay? It can be the 4-5. You cannot see the 1-2. It's horrible always in SPX. But potentially it can be a 4-5 related to the wave 3 here, meaning you are in 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and a 5. Okay, those are the possibility as well for the SPX. So basically, I would like to see the all-time high taken here, definitely. All right, this is what I would like to see. I doubt it that we're gonna get the same scenarios as NASDAQ, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I doubt it a little bit, but it can be possible, guys. It can be, of course. It's a possibility. But in NASDAQ, it can be much more volatile. That's why. In SPX, normally it is less volatile than NASDAQ. Therefore, I believe just taking the high is more than enough. Then moving for a wave 4. Be careful, the wave 4 is going to be deep. Yeah, it's going to be deep because, of course, the wave 2 is a flat here, right? Same as for NASDAQ, by the way. It's the same scenario. We have a flat for wave 2, meaning the wave 4 might be deep, zigzag, coming back to the same area for the previous wave 4 as per Elliott wave theory always. When you have double 4s, they might revisit like the same area. And then moving for higher for the next wave 5, of course. Right? Okay, so that is for the SPX. Let's move for the gold, right? So basically we started NASDAQ, I think, on 11 minutes, right? And the S&P, we are right now at 17. That means we started almost at the 15 minutes. Okay, let's see the gold, what is doing, of course, at the 80 minutes. Okay, so for the gold, let's see. All right, today I think I already took some idea what's going on in the gold. I discussed this with Chris in our Discord. So basically, in the gold, you know, on the daily and the weekly, I'm very bearish, right? I'm very bearish. And don't forget that we are looking at the following scenarios where we potentially have topped here for wave 3. Well, actually, we have topped for a wave 5 even. Let me go to the all-time history. 5 in wave 3, in wave 3 in the yellow. Okay, so basically meaning we're not done with the gold, of course. It's still gonna move for higher, but it needs simply a correction, guys. It cannot simply move toward the upside, just straight away toward the upside without any kind of correction. And that means I'm still looking, of course, for the minimum target at 2,586, which is a wave 4 in the orange scenario where you would like to finish a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 impulse without invalidation. Meaning I would like to take one of these two numbers without hitting 1,880. Okay, because this might be invalidation of the impulse. Wave 4 is not allowed to interfere with zone 1. Therefore, blue box would be a perfect scenario for wave 4 and a 5 finishing an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Meaning you might be, of course, in a zigzag A, B, and a C toward the upside, or you might be in a big impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for higher prices, which is also working perfectly with the leading diagonal in case you are in A, B, C here, 3 ways, and you're looking 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. But this scenario is low. Why? Because it is very deep in correction. And I don't believe that the gold is gonna correct very, very deep right now. So the gold has some potential here, and it has a lot of influence right now. And I don't believe that it's gonna move very, very massively like this towards the downside. Therefore, this wave 4 as leading diagonal, I doubt it, guys. Okay, I believe that this wave 4 might finish over there. Okay, this even can be a possibility to finish somewhere here. Of course, when we correct a little bit, right? And we need this correction. If we don't correct, guys, therefore something is wrong. Okay, something is going wrong, meaning something going corrective. This is what I mean. If we move for higher, you're moving correctively and you might drop very massively. Okay, you don't want to finish in 3 ways up. Okay, because it might unfold 3 ways down, and therefore 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the idea. You want to keep the things impulsive, therefore you need a wave 4 and a 5 to finish a wave 4 in the yellow, and then moving, of course, for a bigger wave 5, right? This is what you would like to see in the gold. I think so. All right, and don't forget that you cannot just take it as 3 ways. In the all-time history, in the 60s, there is some price action here, like a wave 1, 2, okay, which it can unfold, of course, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which make it a perfect impulse for a bigger impulse in a wave 1. Okay, now currently on the lower time frame, okay, this is the important thing also for you guys, I think. So on the lower time frame, as we mentioned before, we said, of course, that we are bearish, and we have thought potentially for the gold in at the 3,500. Here we go. This is the top. And currently, right now, we have finished 3 waves towards the downside. Let me go 2 hours is nicer. So 3 waves towards the downside, wave A, and then we're looking for a potential wave B, right? A, B, and a C. The wave C is finished as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Finishing wave C, finishing wave B, extended wave C, of course, for this zigzag before hitting the 1.618 a little bit, right? A little bit before. Currently, you are still looking for lower, right? But we cannot yet confirm 100%, of course, a bearish or a bullish scenario yet. Why? Because first, you are in a potential bearish as double 1, 2, guys. 1, 2, 1, 2, wave 3, hitting the 1.618, very impulsive, right? It looks impulsive. And this looks a little bit corrective. And that start to gives higher possibility. Let's move 1 hour chart here. That start to gives higher possibility for the bearish. Okay? It has started. Why? Because if you are bullish, you would like to see simply continuation toward the upside and not coming back to the zone 1 to interfere with it. Unless you are in a formation of double 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, so this is a possibility for the bullish that it might. This is the only possibility right now, by the way, for the bullish. Key levels for the invalidation. If we take the 886, here we go, 3,295. Okay, you cannot consider the bullish scenario anymore. Almost confirmation for lower. Okay, so be careful. This is your invalidation of bullish. If we are looking for higher, you would like to see continuation from now. Okay, for higher. Currently, we are still under the invalidation of bearish, meaning if we are in a 1-2, because you have double 1-2 here, right? You have 1-2, 1-2. So currently you're playing with 1-2, 3, 4, and a 5. The wave 3, if not finished here, this looks like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. If the wave 4 is not finished here, this belongs to this 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, because, you know, this is one impulse, and you need a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Invalidation of bearish, taking the 3,332. If the price moves for higher, taking the 3,332, you are in double 1-2s. Very simple. Okay? Of course, there is no confirmation right now directly from here, guys. Of course, if you want to go like every on the 50-minute chart, you can see, of course, that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I don't trust it. The wave 4, of course, hitting the zone 1, which is, yeah, questionable. A, B, and a C also potential, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning this can be corrective, so be careful. Another possibility is this can be, no, it cannot be leading diagonal because the wave 4 is not interfering, it's a rule. And plus here, the only scenario that you can have is, of course, a leading diagonal potentially, okay? But this wave here is not looking nice as an impulse, okay? It looks for me corrective, even it can be double zigzag in a wave X in between, okay? So we have to be careful with the gold. However, let's say there are some unclear patterns inside it, and if we move higher, the price itself can confirm, of course, a bullish scenario. 3,332. Okay, taking this price, meaning you are in double 1-2, you're moving for wave 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 towards the upside. Yep, taking the all-time high. Why? Because you are potentially in a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay? So in a bigger view, you are also in an impulse, but also you are, of course, in ABC. Now, invalidation of bullish, where you don't think about bullish anymore, where you are totally bearish, 3,252. Once the price moves down here, of course, therefore you are very, very bearish. Why? Because, let me explain. Let me just arrange the thing, and I think we don't need this anymore. It's too crowded. All right, we don't need this anymore. Here we go. So why 3,250 is totally bearish? Because if you are in 1, 2, and then 3, wave 4 is not allowed again to interfere with zone 1, meaning you invalidate the bullish scenario totally, and therefore moving for lower. Currently, in a bigger view, don't forget that we are in a trend. You would like to see also this trend broken for higher prices, okay? But first, to be in bullish, you would like to take the 3,332. So once you take this price, well, yeah, higher potential that you break out and moving toward the upside, okay? Hello, Free Minds. Nice to see you, man. I'm good. I hope you're doing well, too. All right, so let's see Nvidia. That was for the gold. I think the gold was very clear. We are, of course, in two possibilities, bullish and bearish, and the invalidation and key levels has been given. So if you follow it right, of course, it should be okay. All right, so Nvidia. For Nvidia, Okay, so Nvidia yesterday, it saw also some bull run, like a bull trend toward the upside, and this is what I was expecting. Of course, I'm looking for a 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for wave 3 to hit at the 1.618 at, of course, $150. That would be a perfect scenario, of course, for a wave 3. We have a wave 1 as leading diagonal, and this was someone yesterday was criticizing this leading diagonal, saying that this is not a leading diagonal, whatever it is. But I don't know how he doesn't see it as leading diagonal. It's a perfect one. 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and 5. If you remember, when we have leading diagonal, I just mentioned it before in the stream right now. When you have a leading diagonal, wave 2 might be shallow and small. This is a perfect example, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Why? Because leading diagonal is somehow kind of like a process of loading buyers, okay? And therefore, at the fifth wave, the things start to explode, all right? So that's why. And that's why you see a lot of waves inside leading diagonal. All right, so basically on the top, we are in a formation of a wave 5 toward the upside, impulsive, potentially 1, 2, 3. Obviously, we are very corrective sideways. We're going to move toward the upside, guys, okay? This might be also the wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, even for a higher wave 5, okay? Would it take the high? Well, low possibility. It's a low possibility that we're going to take the high, okay? Why? Because you cannot take it right now. I believe so. 1.618 will play its role, and especially, of course, at 150 psychological number, plus the structure is gonna be almost finished there. Therefore, we're gonna look for a wave 4 in the white, and therefore looking for a final wave 5, which is gonna take the all-time high, in a wave 1, 2 again. All right, so this is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a very sideways wave 4 in the top, by the way. Why? Wave 2 is very sharp, very zigzag. Wave 4 might be a triangle, very sideways, explosion again. Finishing wave 1, wave 2, continuation simply toward the upside. Very nice for Nvidia. I don't see any signs of weakness yet for bearish. Cool. Palantir. So let's see Palantir as well. We are at 30 minutes. Great timing. All right. So Palantir. Okay. So what do we have on Palantir? We have, of course, already finished the 5 ways toward the upside potentially for Palantir here. But what I think is 2 scenarios happening here. Why? Again, I mentioned this yesterday. We are very sideways here. Okay, a lot of correction, and that means we're still looking for an explosion toward the upside, wave 5. Hitting the blue box, 0.23, potentially finished WXNY, and you are in a formation for a bullish scenario. Now, what are the possibilities? The possibilities are the following. Now, because this is a wave 3, potentially shallow, you might have an extended wave 5, okay? An extended wave 5 would like to hit around this area. I doubt it. Why? Because if you are in a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, the wave 2 did not reach yet the minimum requirement fib level, which is 0.38. Meaning, if you are in 1, 2, you would like to see this 3, 4, 5, which is still possible, of course. Maybe it's gonna be somehow like that. Nobody knows. And then explosion. You know, psychology. It likes to play psychology. You know, that it moves down. Oh, it's moving down. And then it was wave 2, 3, explosion. Right? Everyone is out. And then it moves very high. But I doubt it. Why? Because it's a very long range. And based on the timing for a wave 2, this is a very long one. And I believe this is a wave 4. Or something else unfolding. All right? So what I mean, if this is a wave 4, that means, of course, the wave 5, it did not unfold yet. And I think that it might be here, kind of like ending diagonal, that is something about this. If we have double 1 2, also you would like to see 1 2 3 4 5, so also not reach the minimum requirement. And if we are 1 2 3 4 and a 5, extended wave 5 also need a 1 1 2. So how can I read this as a wave 4? I can't, right? And that means, of course, there is something else unfolding potentially. Whether we are in triple 1 2s, that this still can move toward the downside, guys. Very simple. Yeah. So I still believe two scenarios. Whether we take the 0.38, we solve this problem, right? We solve it for all. Meaning, if you take the 0.38, you get directly a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Simply, it can play as a big extended wave 5, or it can play as a big wave 3 after double 1, 2s. Very simple. And I think it needs this low, guys. I think it needs this low. Unless it's going to simply explode towards the upside, but unfortunately it will unfold something corrective towards the upside. Meaning 3 ways up, zigzag, correction, and then moving kind of like another zigzag, okay? And that will unfold double zigzag, WX and Y, which is not nice to see. Zigzag, correction, A, B, and a C. Yeah, so this can be, of course, another zigzag, double zigzag. Hopefully not. So I would say if you are bullish, you would like to see the 0.38. You would like to move down first and then moving up. If you are bearish, you will move directly towards the upside. Okay, that is for Palantir. All right, guys. Profit Pulse, you're very welcome, man. Sorry, I think I just saw your name. I think I miss it. All right, guys. So nice to see all of you. Thank you for being here. And that was it for the live stream for today. Trade safe. Have a nice day. See you in the next one. Bye bye.